folks, welcome back to an episode of Hero to Villain. My voice and throat really hurt, so we'll battle through today, shall we? Now, of course, last episode we ran through the team and what we were going to do with it, and this is a deadline day. Of course, we've just had a deadline day in real life for those that are watching along as the series continues, and now our very own deadline day where stuff is going to happen. We've had loads of outs, loads of ins, and yeah, with deadline day approaching, we're not done quite yet. You can see there, viewers, pre-season, very well indeed. Yeah, we scored 15 goals against Ajax and Bruges. We'll take it. 9-0 in a friendly cup final. Yeah, thank you very much. Add it to the silverware. Put it next to Manager of the Year, please. Thank you. All right, then. We're at a point in this save where I can show you all the names, and lots of them are regenerated, so you won't even know who they are. Let's focus on some outs then. Jack Grealish has gone off to Rosenborg. He was brought back for sentimental value. I regret it, and now he's gone. He was also English, though, so that did help. Emmanuel Servi has been signed, it's worth saying, but hasn't got a work permit, so it's on loan at Borussia Mönchengladbach for the rest of the season. 2.7 million for a man who's got these attributes is very good, in my opinion. And if he gets a work permit, it'll be a fantastic sort of third-choice centre-back, fourth-choice centre-back for a team battling on European fronts. That's us now, viewers, if you weren't aware. Carl Skinner has gone on loan to Swansea, a player that we brought in a couple of years ago for 4.4 million. Hasn't really delivered or played as much as I expected him to. So yeah, he's had a loan move. That is sort of the impending. He's out on loan. He will be sold next summer, I imagine. And finally, Paulo Riva has been sold to Tigres in Mexico, I believe it is. And is it Mexico, just to be sure, Ben? Yeah, Mexican First Division. Yeah, bought him for a free transfer, loaned him for a year to Malaga. Had a really good year in the Championship for me, but then to make 18 million off him, yeah, I think we've done all right. He's a good player, but we just don't really need him. And the reason we don't really need him, viewers, and we'll go straight to it, is because on a free transfer, Paulo Dybala has signed for Aston Villa. 34 now, 100 caps for Argentina, fantastic technicals and mentals, and pace-wise, acceleration of 10, pace of 10, it's not too bad, you know. Great natural fitness, agility and balance still there as well. Spent a very long time at Manchester United, played in the Premier League for them last year, got goals and assists to his name. It's come in for me on 80 grand a week, really is a backup really to Goodmanson, but yeah, with European football now in our midst, we're going to have to use him in rotation more often than not. Dybala, he got a move at last few years, and I was happy to accommodate. Elsewhere, some exciting news really. The biggest bit for me is that Jonovic is back. We've got him again for another year on loan, paying him 6 grand a week. Yeah, fantastic. 8 goals, 5 assists last year for us, 27 appearances, 7.25 average rating. What isn't to love? Hopefully Madrid get bored of him and we can eventually just sign him on the cheap. That's the ideal scenario. Physically fantastic, 6'5". We know all about him. And now you can see at the top there where money has been spent. But we'll start at the bottom and we'll work our way up. So on loan, we have not got Lloyd Morgan back. Inter Milan have bought him, so we joined Totado at Inter Milan. He doesn't return to us. And this is the man then. Gabriel Alessi has come in. Wonder kid, 5'7", on loan from Borussia Dortmund. Marking and tackling, that's the big things we look for in a fullback for me. 13 and 14 respectively at 19 and Italian. He's got defending in his blood, viewers. Physically, very, very good indeed. Great stamina. Acceleration's very good. Pace off the line. Crossing at 10 is okay. 10's my limit. I don't want to go below 10. And dribbling at 11's not too bad either. And some of his mentals are quite good. It's off the ball, could maybe be better. But apart from that, everything's all right for me. Aggression again, I wish was a little higher, but we'll take it. I think as a right back in that sort of covering role, it'll do a fine job for me. Can't play at the moment though. He's at the Olympics, so brilliant. We'll be playing our first games at the start of next week. Unless we hit 1,000, if we hit 1,000 likes in this video, we'll do a Sunday episode. How's that? But if not, we'll see you on Monday. All right, of course, Dybala and Servi have been mentioned. Alnwick is joined. Jack, is it Jack? It's Jack. I want to say Yak for some reason, but Jack Alnwick has joined. Basically, as a backup goalkeeper. English is the key point to all of this. That's why he's been signed. And yeah, I mean, he's played quite a lot for Rangers. 2.7 million. There's a reason for this. We need an English quota, and we're selling a goalkeeper. You'll see which one as we go through deadline day. Next on the list, £4 million for Jorge or Jorge Menis. He's a menace, but look at that. For £4 million, goodness gracious me. Chilean, 21-year-old. Of course, I've got a reputation of signing Chileans in this game world. Great off the ball. That's what struck me the most. 18 off the ball. Very, very good. Stamina, very good. Acceleration, agility, finishing first touch, technique. In an area in which we didn't really need strengthening, I think for £4 million, I couldn't really turn this guy down. An absolutely sensational player. Could turn into an absolute world-beater again. 21 years of age, plenty of room to grow. Menace. He could be a menace. I guess it's menaces. though, is it? That's tricky to say. The next one, I've just bought more strikers, viewers. Marcus Nelson. We've sold Skinner, of course. He's gone out on loan. Another striker from our side will be leaving. We'll talk about who that is in just a moment. But a very pacey, slightly different, off-the-mark striker. A little bit more pace about this one. Great first touch, great heading ability. Fantastic. I think a complete forward here could be sensational in that role. Jumping reach, a little bit of a concern. But yeah, his heading ability is still decent, though. But yeah, quick. 5'7". You don't need a player to be good in the air, really, if he's 5'7". He's quick off the mark. And yeah, got him for Midtjylland in Denmark. Last season got 12 in 13. I say last season, that might be a continuation of this season. But regardless, a great goal scoring record last year. We've taken a bit of a gamble on him. £9.5 million. Nelson, welcome to the team. Or Nissen, maybe Nissen. Maybe Nissen, actually, after all this. Nelson. It's not, there's no L, Ben, so it's Nissen, isn't it? It's Marcus Nissen. All right, next up. This is where major money started to be spent, viewers. Jeremy Doku from Borussia Dortmund, a real person, so you may well be familiar with him from, from Belgium. He's a Belgian international player. Has been signed then from Borussia Dortmund. They picked him up on a free last year from Liverpool, which is pretty good business. I've looked at loaning him before from Liverpool and didn't get him. But to buy him for quite a hefty fee, 23.5 million. If anything happens to Chambers, I had no backup plan at all. Jeremy Doku, to me, speaks of a man of experience, 26 years of age, has been capped internationally. Fantastic dribbling, fantastic crossing, good heading ability as well, and quick off the mark as well as decent stamina. I like everything about him. I think he's the perfect player for what we need in our squad, whether he plays on that left-hand side or he plays a little deeper, even up front. Like, he can do lots of things. Finishing ability of 16. He's a versatile player. And, yeah, I wish he could play on the right. I mean, maybe that's something we'll train to play as an inside forward, cutting in perhaps. But, yeah, I like what we've got. He cuts inside from both wings, despite never playing in this side, but I think he could probably do it. Now, this is where the big money's gone. But both transfers, I should say, look quite hefty. We spent 109 million, but both transfers, I will say right now, are instalments. I think the first one, the 24 million one, is 10 million or 13 million, and then 10 million over a little period of time, and the other one is 24 million with the rest over a period of time. But let's take a look at them then. Angelmo Barents. Angelmo? Angelmo? I don't know. Barents. Anyway, you can see him now. Dutch, 20-year-old. We've gone big, viewers. We've gone home. Yeah, a wonder kid by all accounts, and you can see just why, can't you? Physically, fantastic. Mentals to die for, and very, very good technical defensive abilities too. Heading, marking, tackling, all very good, as is his passing, as is his first touch. I bloody love him, viewers. I think this could be a guy that we see in this team for a very, very long period of time. Of course, we've already got Mendy here, who was a stalwart of our side at this point. Has played for a couple of seasons, but we needed someone else to come in next to him on that left-hand side. We've got a a left footer. The only issue is he's got a fickle personality. We'll work that out of him. Don't you worry about that. We'll send him for a few chips with Marky Fletcher down the pub. He'll have a lovely time. So Barents, I like him a lot. Could be a star, an absolute star. And next to him, another defender, Andre Aubameyang. I think Aubameyang. That's how I'd say it. Aubameyang. I'm going with Aubameyang. Look, we've spent a lot on him, I should say. 21 years of age. I think he could be potentially the best defender on the game. Maybe. Who knows? I've got to say, I think he looks really, really good. 6'2", fantastic physical attributes already. Again, those technicals are there. Need a little bit of work on heading and things like that. His jumping reach. That's maybe an area in which we could train him to be slightly better, because he's not quite there yet for me. Yeah, the mentals are very, very good as well. I think we've got ourselves one hell of a player. It's a big outlay. It's a big amount of money to spend, having done not a massive amount for Porto. But I think in terms of what we've got as a player, he's right up there. And him and Barents over the next couple of years will form a partnership, I suspect, and be stars together. That's the dream. That's the hope. That's the ambition. He can also play at right back, and as we've got a man at the Olympics, that's where he's going to have to feature in our first few games, I think, which he's not going to enjoy, but he's so fast. AC and acceleration, lovely job. Nearly 100 grand a week, though. It's a lot of, it's more than Dybala. So squad-wise right now, this is what we're working with, and the observant among you will notice there's a few player names that are missing. Where is Degard the goal gone? Where's Svoboda gone? Well, currently, they're applying themselves in our under-23s as players that are probably going to be moving on in this deadline day. So let's get involved in deadline day then and see what goes on. As for Svoboda, it's time to come clean about this. Has had a bid on him of £33 million from Arsenal. You might wonder why have you accepted it, Ben? Well, that just happens to be his release clause when we signed him for $9 million a couple of years ago. After two different seasons, I think a lot of people wanted to see more of Karol Svoboda, but we've not really had the opportunity. Hence, I've brought in a couple of strikers as well. Just because Svoboda's not really... Maybe it's a case of him not really having the chance, but I just think if it's not working, move him on. He might be great at Arsenal, who knows, but we've got other players to come in and do a similar job. We're not lacking strikers, viewers, so I think to get 33 million for him, is pretty good business. Rodriguez still here. In fact, if we do it like this, you can see then striker-wise, Nissan, Lemons, Rodriguez and Menes will be our 4 strikers this year. Of course, Dybala's here as well, which obviously helps. Ryan Ball, Gareth Hanna, 2 English players still around, as is Dylan Chambers, as is Jack Clark. We've got to keep an English quota, or at least a British quota going on because of our Brexit situation. Doku and the Rod now, of course, both wingers, Goodmunson and Dybala to play in behind the striker. There's one area in which we might need a little bit of reinforcement, and that's central midfield. Vergara is obviously going to be a fantastic player for us this year. That's the hope and dream, alongside Jonovic, and then Onoma and Barrow are sort of the backups to them. At left back, Jack Hurst will still play understudy to Alkin. Mendy, Obermeyer, Barons will be our centre-backs. Of course, Schurz is probably going to move on as well. And then we've got Alessi at right-back. Maybe another defender in there, probably a centre-back who can also play right-back. Another one of them might be of the offing. But again, deadline day, we'll see what happens. It's 6 o'clock. It's the morning. So let's see a Sunderland straight away come in for Schurz with a £7.5 million bid. I'm going to ask for 9 and see if they think that's acceptable. They've gone 8 with some instalments. It's 8.25. We'll take it, though. Yeah, I'm fine with it. We've also bid for David Tavares Fernandez. Talking of fullbacks that I'd quite like to get into the club, this is a man that I think to have on loan for the entire season would be fantastic, whether it be cover or starts games or pushes our new Italian loanee to their limits. To have 2 loanee fullbacks I think could be quite enjoyable, and we're getting them for a very decent price as well. 26k a week, yes please. It's worth saying on this guy though, actually, when I say all of this, he's got interest from Juventus and Atalanta, so it might not be a done deal quite yet. As some more offers have come in for sure. None of them as good as the other one. All right, deadline day. It closes at 5 o'clock. We know this. We've just been through one. I am going to take part because it could all kick off here, viewers. Our sources claim that you have made a bid for a player who remains unnamed but haven't yet received a response. How hopeful are you of concluding the deal? Sky Sports News there with investigative journalism. That's amazing. We think you bid for a player. Can you reveal if you've bid for a player? We don't know if you've bid for a player. We're guessing. I'm just not going to answer the question from Danny Nichols. One man who I've pursued a lot this January that I'm not going to get my hands on is Szczesny at Schalke, the Polishman. Look, he's cost a lot of money, but he doesn't actually want to talk to me about moving. He wants to play in the Champions League. Of course, we're not in there. Looks pretty good. Even though he's 5'11", looks bloody good. But we couldn't get him. Aurelio, another one from Real Madrid, doesn't quite look up to the standard, I don't think. If I could get him on loan, I probably would do, but I don't necessarily think he's the man that we need. Another fullback we've looked at is Alvaro Odriozola. Close. I know he's a real player. Some people will be able to pronounce that perfectly, I'm sure. Looks very well rounded, but again, his wage is a bit of an issue, so we can't get him in either. There's been a lot of nearly men that have joined us this summer. But let's see, viewers, will anything occur during this deadline day? That's the question. Loads of stuff has just come through. Some of it good, some of it not so good, as Fernandez is off to Juventus. That's disappointing. And Swoboda is going to Arsenal. Schurz is out as well. He's going off to Sunderland. So all sorts going on. You'll notice I've missed a piece of news, viewers, and I'm not unaware of that. We'll check it again in just a moment, as loads of stuff's going on. Another player we looked at as well was Matt Pratt, which I think is a great name. American 28-year-old Matt Pratt. I think I'd have enjoyed just having him here as a player name. But yeah, we nearly went for it. We went for Doku instead. It would have cost me a similar amount of money, but slightly more in wages, actually. So yeah, we passed on Matt Pratt, but again, his name did entice me. All right, down here though, Ramon, 20-year-old wonder kid that we can get on loan for the season. I mentioned we needed some more centre-back cover. He's unambitious, which I think to be at Real Madrid as a wonder kid is a bold thing to admit. But 20-year-old Spaniard, we need some defensive cover. Schurz has just left, of course, and I think Ramon would be the perfect addition. Interestingly, viewers and fans of music will like the fact I've got Ramon and Robson. It's Robson and Ramon is how I'm thinking it, like Robson and Jerome, Robson and Ramon. It works. Robson, by the way, we'll talk about this if it happens. There's a work permit being discussed. But yeah, he's in. Get him into the team immediately. Welcome. And he's young enough that I don't have to register him as well. That's a key part as to why we're getting him rather than someone a little bit more concrete. As bids have come in there for, oh goodness me, bids have come in for Ball. Doncaster, no. I need the English quota. Bristol City have now bid for this guy. If they get him on the cheap, I'm going to be fuming, because I would definitely have him. Even at 32, he's so complete. What wage does he want then? What do they think they're doing? I just want to see now. I'm just at that point of I need to see what's going on with him. Right, let's see. I'm not offering you. You can be a rotation player at the bare minimum. And he wants 220. I mean, obviously not then. This is a nonsense. Bristol City. It'll go to Bristol City for 30 grand a week, viewers. I've no doubt about it. All right, some more news has come through. The application for his work permit has not gone through. We'll appeal it. I guess the appeal will happen this afternoon as they'll fast track it through because it's deadline day. I would quite like to get him in, Robson. It's a lot of money though. And we've got Servia, of course, as well, so we don't necessarily need it. He's been granted the work permit. I'm a little bit surprised. Well, there you are at £22 million to take away from our £85 million budget. Of course, selling Svoboda has helped out with that. What do you think, viewers? I mean, I keep calling him 28. 20-year-old Brazilian, 6'3", has got some really nice attributes about him. I think I like him a lot. That's the thing. He's played a lot of football for his age as well. Is it somewhere we should maybe wait, hold the money for? But I think if we could get him in and maybe even sell him on in the future, it's not that bad. A lot of potential. A few of these obviously a bit of an issue. His contract is still pretty reasonable though. I'm not sure. I think for the good of the squad, we probably should get him in at least as another option for us at the back. So Robson's going to come in. Welcome Robson. So we've now got Robson and Ramon at the back, which I just love. They're going to have to start together at some point. We probably need a more natural fullback, but I don't think with not long left to go, it's going to happen now. I'm not super concerned about it. Ramon can play out there as well. We've got players that can play or fill in at right back when Alessi needs a little bit of a break or a bit of time out. But it's not a bad squad at this point. Again, the fact we don't have to register all these boys is very, very comforting to me. The fact they're under 21s means we've still got a bit of space despite our lack of English players at the moment. Right then, with not long left to go on deadline day, unless we see a major bid coming for one of our players, I think that's going to wrap things up here. There's 2 hours, 30 minutes left to go. There's not much else I want to do. We also looked at Manglar Sarr as well at one point, but he's gone on loan to Burnley from Bayer Leverkusen, a player that I thought would be a pretty nice addition, but you can see we've gone for other options in the end. And if you look now at this particular graph, we were looking through it last season, deciding that we needed certain players in certain areas. I think, all in all, we've done a pretty good job, especially at centre-back now. Loads of nice potential players in there that can be superstars for us at some stage. At left-back, I know it doesn't say he's a great player, but I think Alkins can still improve a little bit and be really good for us. And at right-back, again, I'm happy with Alessi. I think he's going to be fine for us this season. Central midfield-wise, I think it's the one area we maybe could have got someone else in, but if Vergara turns into the player that we expect, him and Jonovic this season will be an absolutely fine combination. And I still think Romario Barrow is a really nice option off the bench as well. 28 years of age, he's not exactly past his prime or anything like that, although he does pick up injuries quite often. Behind the striker, Gudmundsson and Dybala now sitting there, and on that left-hand side, Chambers and Doku now make up what will be our wing attack on that side. On the right, we've still got the Rod, we've still got Jack Clark. I'm happy with both of them. I still think they've got enough to offer this season. Next year, next summer, maybe even the January period, that's the position we're going to try and sign a real good replacement in. There was a player we looked at, and when I show you him, you're going to think, Ben, why didn't you do this? Basically because it would have broken everything, viewers, that's why. So this man here, I know what you're thinking straight away, viewers, I can see it in your faces, but he wants 150k at Leipzig, wanted 220 to play for me, but we sorted it out and gave him an extortionate contract, but we didn't pull the trigger on the deal. Again, partially because of this English player thing, and I've had to sell the Rod as well, which I didn't really feel like we had to do. But this is the player we missed out on. I know you're all thinking we should have signed him. It would have cost me £45 million. And then, again, I think there was a $9 million signing on bonus and things like this. It was a bit ridiculous. And I thought, we'll save it. We'll look for someone slightly better, slightly cheaper in the future. And just remember that we nearly got Villa Labos at some point. But yeah, we didn't in the end. To get a player called Villa Labos for us would have been good because he's got the word Villa in there. And that's obviously what attracted me, viewers. Another transfer we almost made as well, actually. There's lots that have gone on. Phil Foden, we thought about. It was going to be him or Dybala. I just think getting Dybala in for a year is better value than having Phil Foden on 200 grand a week. So that's partially why we've done it. He's very, very good and, of course, helps with English quota. But Manchester City don't want like 20 million for him. They want an extortionate amount for him. So, yeah, we're not doing that. But all in all, as this transfer window concludes, and I don't think anything else is going to happen, I say 2.5 hours left to go. Chesterfield want Ball, who I have to keep around the first team squad for now, which is not ideal, but it's happening. As how close were you signed? Oh yeah, him as well. I've been very busy this summer, viewers. I must say, I've done lots of business. But let me know in the comment section, of course, how you think that we've got on. I do hope, like players like Svoboda, I do hope he goes to Arsenal and plays quite well. It'll prove that signing him wasn't a terrible idea. If he goes there and does nothing, I'll be very disappointed. The biggest move in the transfer window, as the deadline is now closed, is Davy Engelen, who looks, yeah, I can see why this is a thing. Bought from Tottenham for 148 million after they got him from Genk. That is a big move. I can confirm that. Asensio's gone to PSG as well, as Liverpool have signed fullback Pretis at left back, who, yeah, looks Blimey, yeah, good. He plays on the left side with Matt Pratt on that left, I imagine, which is quite nice to see. Quite a few other bits of business there as well. Let's take a look at the Premier League roundup then on that screen. So in terms of this transfer window, we have spent, I mean, we've brought in the most amount of players along with Brighton. 12 players brought in, spent 129 million. That's an awful lot of money, with 60 million received as well. Some sides have received crazy amounts. Tottenham, of course, have sold that one big player. Liverpool as well. A net spend of 13 million, but have spent and received a lot of money this summer. Manchester United spent 130 million as well. Some of the lesser sides, Chelsea, only spending 1.4 million this year, and their biggest sale is loaning Kepa out to Tottenham. Did they loan him? What's happened there? They've sold him to Tottenham. Does that say loan there? Am I crazy? It does say loan. I'm very confused. Okay, well, fair enough then. Interesting things have happened all over the shop. Harry Winks was sold by West Ham as well, players that we'll be familiar with. David Neres has been bought in by Bournemouth in 2028, who saw it coming. And yeah, some interesting transfers there then. Again, I'll ask the question for the final time. How do you think we've done in this window? I've just caught the eye there of the player that we nearly got from Sporting. There is another one that got away that, oh, it hurts. I really wanted him, viewers. I really wanted him on every level. 20-year-old Argentine. I just thought he was going to be the bee's knees, and his contract demands were outrageous. Considering he was on 24 grand a week at Sporting, it was another one of these players that wanted 225,000, and it's just like, what? Just be more reasonable, and you can come and play for me. But yeah, another one that got away. Juan Ignacio Pacheco. That's why we didn't sign him. Too tricky to say. But that concludes the transfer window then, viewers. Again, if you've enjoyed it, do drop a like, and we'll do an episode over the weekend. The Premier League season starts soon as well, so that's exciting. I'll do a predictions video. I was going to do it later today, but I've got to be honest, my voice is nearly gone, so I might have to save it a little bit. But I won't change my predictions based on the opening weekend's fixtures. I will continue to stick with what I think, and we'll see where we go from there. If you enjoyed today's video, of course, please do drop a like on it, and if you want to see some more, make sure you subscribe. We love with care. If you want to mention tonight's time, Hero to Villain starts up again soon. Goodbye. Starts up again soon. I've just said it'll be Sunday or Monday. What am I on about?